today on Project Shop, we are pulling into a Nissan dealership where we are going to be picking up a bunch of sight lights. Now, what we're going to be doing here is just picking up a trailer. They supposedly have a trailer already full. It looks like we're going to get a ton of heavy cast aluminum lights out of here. And you can see they're already putting up some. I actually did the Honda dealership across the street a few years ago, and they had tons of lights. So hopefully we get a pretty good deal out of this one here. All right, we're gonna go around back and look at this trailer. It looks like there's gonna be a lot of lights here. Look at all these things, man. And a lot of times, I don't know if they're gonna do it, but a lot of times they'll change out the wall packs as well. So hopefully we'll make a pretty decent profit off of this job. Normally we do. Where's this trailer at? There's their big bucket truck. Look at all this scrap. I wonder what they're doing with this. Oh, here we go. Oh, these are different lights. What the hell is this? These lights look like they're from a different job. He did say they have two jobs going on right now. So, I don't know, but there's a ton of lights at this place. Oh, we got plenty of room on this trailer. We can stack some more lights. So these are a different style light. These are like sheet metal. These ain't gonna be worth as much as those ones up there. Those ones up there, I can tell just from down here, they're heavy cast. We're gonna be pulling their trailer. I always like to look at tires. That tire looks a little dry rotted and extremely low. Oh, that thing's like flat, man. So we'll have to take this down the street. There's a Wawa. We'll put some air in that before we get on the road. Oh, at least they got a spare tire. That's a plus. That tire's low. That tire's squishy. Okay, while we're waiting for the guy to show up with the key, I'm just gonna start loading these up in the back of my truck. That way we're not just sitting around waiting and then have to work when they get here. Okay, we got hooked up to the trailer. I got my straps on there now. Leave the back open because I got to go pick up some more of these white lights. While I was waiting for them, I went and just picked up these. These are heavy cast. These are gonna be nice to scrap out. These are actually gonna come apart a lot easier, I think, than these lights. Two totally different styles, two different types of material. This is sheet aluminum. These have nice extruded arms and a cast slip fitter here to slip onto the pole. These ones here had some rinky-dink little extruded pieces hooked to these slip fitter poles here. So basically there were two of these on each one of those. And then these here are actually from another job that I did. So the sight lighting jobs are coming in hot and heavy right now. Okay, we're back at it. We got these lights ready to go. We're gonna lay them out all up in here. We're gonna do the white ones first. And get this. We got this little generator. This came out of a ship or a boat. So I met a generator guy from the neighbor. And wait till you see the deal I made, what we're gonna trade this for. It's incredible. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on these heavy cast lights first. We're gonna get them laid out, and then we're gonna work on these ones here. We'll lay them all out and do them all at once. Okay, we absolutely shredded through these lights. These came apart real quick and easy. And the good thing about these lights, those are heavy cast aluminum fixtures, so they're going to pay pretty good. Probably way more than these here. And it looks like every single one of these was a double copper transformer, 1000 watt. So we're going to do pretty good on those lights. Now we're going to move right on to these lights. We got 2 singles. I'm pretty sure the rest are doubles, or might be a couple more singles. The rest are doubles. We're going to lay them right out and do the same thing. Probably only took us 15 or 20 minutes to blow through the ones that were on here. And when you're doing multiple things like this, I'm telling you, it's good to have 1, 2 people or more, and then just do one step at a time to each one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these out here, and we're going to start recovering some copper soon. Our transformer pile is getting absolutely out of control over there. So we're going to run them and hopefully come up with a little chunk of copper. If I make back home, I'm just stuck here in a dream. At the bottom of the ocean, I'm at the bottom of the sea. Okay, there you have it. I got these staged up over here in the corner for now because I need to move that trailer, bring that trailer back in here, and figure out how we're going to fit all that on there, which is already kind of overflowing. So that's going to be pretty interesting. But we're going to pull this trailer out, bring my truck in here. We got some stuff to unload, and then we'll bring that trailer back up in here, load it, and we're going to get right on these transformers. We recovered a nice little chunk from those lights, and those other lights got big old 1000 watt. Plus we already had a little nugget on the table. So we're going to get the transformer press all set up. I got some stuff in the way over here from when I was cleaning out the back corner. If y'all haven't seen the video where I built this nice steel rack, go check that out. Thing worked out awesome. But I got to move all this stuff real quick, and then we're going to start recovering some serious copper. Okay, everything's going pretty smooth except for this particular style transformer, which came out of those black lights. And I'm pretty sure a double copper. It's giving me a lot of problems in the machine. It's only cracking one side and the other side's slipping off. I think mainly because this is extremely loose back here. So we're gonna have to try to tighten that up real quick. And this is kind of sloped in. This needs to be cut off, and a new piece of stock needs to be put on here because it's just getting worse. It's been time, it's been years since I actually did that. So we're gonna have to address that really soon. But let me show you what's happening here with this specific transformer. Now, even though these are short, they're as deep or even deeper than the big 1000 watters. So there's a lot of weld to crack here. Okay. Woo! That's super loud. But as you can see, it only broke one side, and the other side actually slipped off right here. And when it does that, it creates a lot of pressure on everything, and it's hard to get off. Now I can loosen it if I can get that free. It's jammed on there. I can loosen that and just tighten it back up, and normally it'll crack it, but I can't be doing this for each one. Woo! Man, it did not like that. It don't like these transformers. So whenever I come across really hard transformers like this, normally what I'll do is I'll give that weld a whack with that hammer, and it'll help ease it up. Let me see if doing that helps. Nice little chunk of copper right there. Let me at least put my safety glasses on for this. So now in a case like this one, I could have put this right back in the machine. But if you notice, I have this lip set back. That's so I can manually crack these if I have to. And that lip just gives the transformer somewhere to go. Now I've seen people do these all different kinds of ways. They'll flip them over, and they say it's easier to do that. But my problem is you're putting so much of the transformer out here. For me, it's just I have better results cracking it like that. Even though that is sitting on top of the copper, it still cracks it pretty easy. Let me put my gloves on. Now, some people might think I'm spoiled and I can't crack a transformer by hand because I got this machine doing it, but these are tough. Now, I will say this too. I've seen a couple different people cracking these. They're putting it on something that's not solid. And if your transformer's on something that's not solid, when you hit it, whatever you put it on that's soft is going to absorb your power. So, in my opinion, you're working harder than you have to. You know, the more solid of an area you're cracking on, the more power you're delivering to that weld. And I actually like doing these right over top of this post right here. because I feel like it delivers all that power right to the floor. But what I'm going to do when I come across these big ones, I'm just going to give them a couple whacks like that on either side. And now let's see if that helps us in the machine here. Hey, these ones with the tabs, Steve, throw over here to the side. They're not going right through the machine. Oh shit!
What? What's that?
We broke the machine.
No, you didn't.
All right, so this isn't something new, but this has happened a lot more on that side. Well, now I got to figure this out. Come on, man.
Oh, shit, I've never seen one do that before.
Me neither.
What happened? What did you do?
I was fucking crazy. It just exploded.
That was it. Then, everything you had a doctor on there, you got this on there, but I'm gonna go on here.
I'll go right here. I just found it.
This is welding, yeah. Okay, that's fine. That works. That's the whole top. I think that's what it's going from anyway. It should be. Okay, I ain't got my glasses. That's pretty standard right there.
Oh, shit. Wasn't on. Oh, shit.
You good?
That fucking blade on some bead. Put some heat in there that quick?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that stuff is not as good.
Yo, this thing is sending some heat. Yeah. Turn the gas on.
I thought you did.
Yeah, I did. Everything's welding nice,
Yeah,
dude.
dude. That's some heavy shit.
Holy shit, dude. I don't think I ever welded this back in my life.
This wire speed.
Yeah, this thing's a beast, dude. Okay, so GoPro got hot and shut itself off because, you know, that's what GoPros do. But anyway, we laid down some bead on that thing. I had that thing cranked up on high, and man, that thing's a beast. So hopefully that'll last for another, I don't know, 10 years that lasted. with the little rinky-dink welds that were on there. Originally, I built this with my little Weld Pack 100, not even a 140 HD. It was a little tiny machine. So I'm surprised all this weld actually held up as long as it did. This side been cracking for years. You can see there's just puddles of weld over here. Because normally this thing breaks literally like in a position like this. We're in the middle of a run, it's nighttime, I got someone here helping me, and you know, it breaks, and then you got people standing around. So what do? You fix it as fast as you can, get this thing back up and running, and then send it. So every time something happens, I'll do a quick repair, and then it'll last for like a year, you know, or longer. I mean, certain things that I've repaired, like that blew off one time. I had a little piece there. That's been on there for like 8 or 9 years, you know. The base cracked, all kinds. This thing is too thin, is what it is. This is very thin. That's just a piece of, like, you know, C-channel. This thing really needs to be made out of big plates, something that's not going to flex. You know, that's my whole issue, is everything's flexing and twisting under that 25 tons, and everything's like right on the verge, you know. So we're going to tighten this up and then get this thing right back on and finish cracking them transformers. Okay, now I'm going to continue with my original repair, which was going to be tightening up the thing so this doesn't flip up. That's what's happening. That's why that transformer's kicking out. So if we can tighten that slack up, we'll have a better chance at, yeah, that thing's way loose. We'll have a better chance of tightening those transformers. Wow, it's hard to believe that weld, or that, it's hard to believe that thread slid, it undid itself even though I scored the threads. Now it doesn't want to go back. We need to get rid of all of that. Took about all the play out of it now. Okay? Back in here. Woo, that's still hot. Oh, someone was saying, why don't you double nut it? I should have showed you. There's beams under here. There's only so much room underneath this thing because there's structural beams I had to put in underneath, so I can't double nut these. I probably should weld them, but what happens is I think even the bolts stretch over time, so it's going to loosen up. Obviously there can be a better way of doing this, but this is what I had on hand when I built it, and for the most part it works just great until you put some transformers in there that are a little bit beyond the capacity of the machine. Now when this was a 20-ton, there were a lot of transformers it just wouldn't break. It wouldn't break them at all. Like a big fat 1500 waters or a big fat, you know, one like this with a lot of weld. You know, that's even got more weld than that one. The crazy thing is, I think this one here, even though it's got more weld, would probably break easier through the machine than these are just tough ones. I don't know why. Sometimes you come across ones that are just brutally tough and it's just blowing apart the machine, you know, trying to break them. Okay, let's just run this one since it's right there. Time to give it a test. Woo, that thing is hot still. That welder put some heat in that steel. Okay. Okay. Let's try it out. Oh yeah. Okay, so that was a different style. Now this is the one I hit 4 times with a hammer. Let's see how well that breaks. My muffs. Oh, it still dropped off. But I think it broke both welds. Jammed in there for good. Yeah. Yeah, it did break both welds, but it fell off. You can see where the press caught that little lip right there. Kind of deformed it where that hole for the thing is. Yeah, so unfortunately, I think all of these I'm gonna have to crack by hand. This one here, now I didn't crack this one with the hammer. We're just gonna see how well the machine does. Let me put some force on these. Problem is, if these were bigger and more centered, lower, it wouldn't allow this to kick. But since they're pushing so high, it allows this bottom to kick out if these are loose. Woo! Yeah, it's still kicking out. These are going to be a tough transformer to crack. Almost better just hitting these with a hammer right off the gate. Whoop. Oh! Look what's happening. We're already off. It ain't even sitting on there right. Woo, man. You can only hear how loud that is in person. Yeah, I think I'm going to give all of these a crack with the hammer. And then send them through. Put my respirator on. This is not one of those. This is with 1,000 water, but you hit it right. Knock that right off. All right, let's get back to some production. See, this is kind of the benefits of having a fully functional shop and know how to repair your own stuff, because if I didn't know how to weld, I would have had to stop completely and had that fixed, or feed all these transformers out by hand until I could get it fixed. So either way, we didn't stop. We're just going to keep cracking. So sometimes, see, this transformer, it don't have the welds on the outside. It's got the welds on the inside on the top and bottom. And a lot of times they break, but these are still stuck because they're like an E. It's wedged in there. I find you can take them out two ways. One, hit it on the table like this, okay? Or hit it, that lip right there on the table like that. Either way, it knocks it right off and you're not fighting. That's an oddball one, man.
Yeah, it is.
I've never had one like that.
I gotta repair it.
It might need to be cut. It doesn't want to do it.
Nah. It'll go. I just gotta fix it.
Little transformer repair. Before the stuff.
I just hope it's copper.
I have these really cool extension so I can put on my boom and kind of put the camera real close or far away or up. Sometimes I need to take them off, but I'm trying to get, you know, Hollywood style shots minus all the pedophilia and satanic bullshit. I'm trying to up our video game here. All right, now look. So when these things broke off and this thing leaned back, this thing doesn't squeeze enough to run these small tiny ones. So what I have to do, my redneck engineering over here, I just take this piece of plate and stick it in there like a spacer, okay? And then it gives me the travel I need to come in on that. I'm probably going to back that out now. I had this adjusted for that weird size one. I got a thing I'm going to do. I'll show you. It's really cool. How I'm going to steady these cameras from bouncing. Now, there you go. We're ready to run small transformers. Now, someone asked me, why don't I run two? This machine will break two smaller, you know, around like that width. I can easily break two of them. Sometimes I can break two of these. The problem is, this thing's not precise. It's just kind of welded together, so it shifts a lot. And when there's two in there, sometimes it'll break three of the welds, and then one will be left half. I got to run it again. So to me, right now with this setup, it's just easier to run one at a time, even though it'll do it. When I finish the 100-ton, we'll be able to run four at a time. I'm gonna make a way bigger thing. I got some really heavy plate, like some 2-inch thick stuff. My problem over here is this thing flexes. Okay, now, believe it or not, some of these little ones are like them other transformers. They're really tough and they're really loud. These look like double copper. Woo! Now that I got the machine dialed up, we crack both welds at the same time. These look like a style that like the laminate. Sometimes you have issues, and it's a little bit wider than the other ones. I'm only tightening one side. I can barely get it. Oh, see that? Yeah, I knew I was going to have problems with this. They look like these ones I did before. Every single one of them delaminated. So transformers are like this glued together steel, and sometimes you can. Sometimes you can get in there, pry that open, and it'll just kind of break the weld. Whoop, it's on the wrong thing over there. Yeah, see, that's a problem. Press don't like that. Then when it does that, usually it'll do that to the other side and it's got to straighten out. Sometimes they get bad. That's what that bucket down there is. A bunch of ones that got like really wonky, you know? It's like an S. So what I would do in this situation, take the grinder, cut all the way down to the steel, free the coil. It'll come right out. All right, let's keep going before this battery dies or the GoPro overheats, because that's what it likes to do. We got a whole run of these ones. They're all probably going to give me issues. Yeah, look how tight that is. Man. Let's run all of these. Loosen this up a little bit. I can clamp both sides. Guess you could clamp one, but I like it better when you clamp both sides. It feels better. Yeah, look. I bet you all these are going to laminate. Yep. Gives you some wrist workout right there. That one broke nice. Usually the ones with the paper are tough, but they're usually double copper. Sometimes you really got to look for them welds. Because they have a good prepper when they're putting them on the table to stand them all up. There we go. Oh, we get some production done. Oh! Oh. Now these are kind of loose because that other one was bigger. Oh, I had a couple more of those. Yeah, I gotta build a new one with some nice big wheels. And I actually want to make something when this comes down, it'll be like a wedge. And this will free float in here. It will be a thread, but free float where the wedge comes down and it just squeezes it. So it don't matter if I leave this loose or not, it's going to tighten. Oh. There we go. I quit talking, we might run some transformers. See if we can't clean these up real quick. We got a couple different things going on. This is the main thing. This style here. I just shear it. Shear it with the hammer. Same thing with this. Just give it a good whack and break them. Now these are the tough ones. You barely got enough to work with. And sometimes you can get on there. Shear that one, shear that one, comes right off. And you don't be wasting time trying to unscrew these things. Find a way to knock it right off with the hammer. Now, having this wedge hammer, I'll show you in a minute why this is the best hammer for cracking transformers. One, this S-wing, for whatever reason, it feels to balance the most. And it just delivers the power. And then when you get like little weld hang-ups, you know, you get in there and just peck at it with the back of the hammer. That one's being stubborn. So that one there, you just pull out. They didn't want to give it up at all. Sometimes they're like that. Oh, hey. Slacking, we only did half a transformer. That. I want to hang up over to there too. Sometimes are tough, man. Even when you got a machine. Now these are the ones that were delaminating. Let me see if it's easier just to crack. See that? It gave me all kinds of problems in the machine. You just crack them with a hammer. Sometimes you don't need no fancy equipment. Transformer down. Yeah, them welds are hard to see. We got a clinger. You don't want to come off. Oh. Alright. Oh, we got a whole plate on this. Yeah. My transformer back. Alright, my plate's sliding. I actually need a bigger plate. This is tiny. But I've had this since I started. I need like an inch plate on here for some real power. But as you can see, just that little bit of lip. Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, I forgot. Oh, we got some good delamination going there. We can actually tighten that back up. That's going to give the second press some problem. If you're a good guy on the first operation, you'll look out for your guy at the second operation and tighten that up for him so he don't have no slippage. Or you just let him deal with it. Depending on how backed up you are. These are them ones that want to go up. Woo! Got a clinger. I got a punch for you. You seem like a raw copper too. All right. We got these boys. Got 2 more of those. I call them soft transformers. They don't hold together. It's a weak ass motherfucker. Aluminum, bucker. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dancing before? Okay, now that we got 2 jack stands and a jack, I'll get under here and show you what happened. So basically, there's a ball somewhere. Where's this ball at? There's the line that blew. You can see it's all wet, and you can see the rupture right there. So this goes to the accumulator, which is, oh wow, there's 3 lines. I guess the accumulator's on the other side. Oh man, this looks like it's gonna be a nightmare. Okay, now we gotta make the tabs. What we're gonna do is make 2-inch tabs. We have a 1/4-inch gap before our framework. Our framework is 1.5 inches. So we're just gonna go 2 inches and then drill a hole 1/2 inch back. We're gonna drill 3 holes here, and then come back and cut this with the cutoff right here. And I welded 4 of these together, so they should be all the same. Black, so the energy, the red light is still recording. Okay, we're taking a little break. I went ahead and strapped this thing up because it was bulging out there pretty good. And I'm gonna hop up in there and kind of stomp this down a little bit. But we pretty much got 3/4 of a box here.